Okay, let's start. So for start off, I'm gonna put some simple question for you to warm up a little bit. So, have you ever bought a magazine before?
I have.
Like what type of magazine?
Mm, mm, mm. Well, usually travel magazines and fashion magazines.
Oh, fashion magazine. That's exactly what the interview about.
Because I saw the sheet, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for understanding me. Well, do you do like which specific one you pick? Like,
No, like Ella. I think that's how you read it. Ella, ELLE, and
yeah.
Vogue too.
Okay.
Fashion magazine. Well, so there's something. I think there's something called print. I think, but it's more like the weird fashion thing. And I really like the thing started with a B, Buzzard, I think.
Oh, which one you prefer?
Which one do I prefer? Inventory and Ella.
Why not Vogue?
Vogue because I think it's their focusing point because why not Vogue leads me to another question. Why Ella? Why Inventory, right? Why do I like them? I liked Ella, the Chinese version better than the English version because the Chinese version gives you a lot of other opinions on traveling, buying, right? Where you're dining in Shanghai, Beijing, everywhere in the world. Shows, right? Like where do you go to see the shows? What show is on this week? Why is it so good? It gives you an upper level of like seeing things. But then Ella here in Canada, what I saw are usually just like, oh, how to dress up. Yeah. Here's a new Maybelline.
I don't know they have like traveling version, like traveling.
It's not a traveling version. It's just few pages of, oh, you should go
in
to
Chinese.
Turkey.
In Chinese.
You should go to Turkey this year, or Malaysia is a good place.
So do you? How often do you read it?
Every month. Well, basically every time I go to the bathroom, I read it, right? But then, because they come out every month, so.
Is there any particular reason that like you pick up to read? For example, you need some fashion tips or some.
No, I just like it. I simply like it.
Is there any particular section you wanna drag you in, like the makeup part or the skin health?
No, not the makeup. It's just the fashion, the clothes.
The clothes one?
Yeah, the new collections and different brands. Like, because I feel like fashion design, it had so much to do with art. That's how designers really express themselves through all the fabrics and all the cuttings, and it's really attractive. It's good to see. Yeah.
You said it's related to our design things like the layout or the type. So do you think it's like the reason you read it is more like help for you design things or just for
potentially it helps with my design. Well, once I see it, sometimes a particular dress, shoes might get to me like I can use that for it might help, but then I don't seek for inspiration from there. Like I said, I like it. It's like how you like to eat watermelon. You see it's on the market and you happen to be affordable. You can afford it. Why not buy it and eat it? It's like that. I like the magazine and it's $3 and I can afford it. No, I like to read it. Yeah.
How do you treat it in your daily life? Is it as a tool or just for relaxing?
For relaxing because it's like I said, it's nice to see all the different design. what idea they come up with. I guess it's exciting to see that because I believe there's so many hard works behind them. They put so much time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
And once you see, and I think the good thing about Vogue is maybe I've seen a lot of, two things. First is the commercials. You know, like, new Prada perfume fragrance, right, coming out. Or a brand new Louis Vuitton, I don't know, like, shoes, right?
I'm gonna throw you some detailed question now. Like, I know there's a lot of new media, like the fashion blog, or there's a lot of online stuff to replace the fashion magazine. So do you think in the future maybe there's no any fashion paper magazine anymore?
I don't know. I can't see that far if I'm smart enough and do a lot of marketing research.
Or the other words, except the fashion magazine, do you use another media?
That's the thing. I tried. But fashion magazine, to me personally, is not replaceable. Because once I opened up the book, the size of the image is really important, because when it's on the screen, it's how big your screen is, right? And even I think even if I get a huge screen, it still won't be as detailed explained as the paper does, I think. And also by flipping the page, I don't know, there's something in there that's really attractive that you want to see more, and then you pay attention to more details, versus when it's online, it's not as much things that gets my attention, I think.
So the interview is about the Vogue magazine. It doesn't matter you read it or not. I just want to get more different opinion from like normal daily people. So for startup, I'm just doing a little bit warm up, easy question. Like, have you ever bought a magazine before?
No, I've never bought a Vogue magazine before.
Just whatever, different type or whatever.
Oh, any magazine?
Yeah, any
yes,
magazine.
I bought a magazine before.
What type is it?
I subscribe to a couple magazines. They're mostly local magazines or
The current magazine.
yeah.
Is there any particular reason you picked it? Like what is that magazine?
It's called my favorite magazine is called The Walrus.
Or was it about that travel?
Things that are going on in Canada.
Oh, it's like news.
Yeah, sort of like news,
big
but
event. Is there why do you get that magazine? Is there reading paper or searching online?
I feel like this magazine has very good stories, very carefully thought out stories, and also really interesting images. So instead of just getting little snippets of information like you do in a newspaper or online, they go to a lot of effort to get a whole story, to get many different people's perspectives.
How often do you read it?
I get it once a month, and I sort of read it in little pieces here and there. So I don't read it all at once.
Is there any like particular reason that like you pick it up to read? Like you want to update some news, or is there any special reason for that?
I think that having read it a number of times, I just have developed faith that all of the writing in it will be interesting. So I'm not looking for something specific. I just know that the stories they choose are good. So they're stories about things I wouldn't necessarily think I would be interested in. But then once I start reading it, I become interested. So I read it mostly when I'm trying to fill time or when I'm trying to go to sleep at night.
Is there any other media you think can replace this magazine? Like go online or read the blogs or replace the paper magazine?
I do read online magazines and blogs as well. But I like having the option of having the paper magazine especially if I'm going somewhere. I often, like if I'm going to a doctor's appointment, I don't want to read the magazines at the doctor's office because they're mostly boring and old. And I don't necessarily always want to take my iPad with me because it's expensive and I don't want to lose it. So I might take a magazine instead. Or if I'm reading on the bus, I might take a magazine to read on the bus because I don't want to read my iPad on the bus in case I leave it behind. I lose things all the time. It's okay if I lose the magazine because it's not valuable. So I read online, but I also like to have the paper version.
So, what do you think the biggest difference between the online or like the website blog and compared to the paper?
The biggest difference I think is the connections the online one can make to other places, so you can start reading and click through to other places, whereas the magazine is so self-contained. You have to think, oh, I need to look more up about that later. It's not immediate in the way that online is. If you're reading something in an online magazine and you want to know more, it's very easy to learn more.
So let's start my interview. I'll put some warm-up question first, and then I'll jump into some detailed question. So for startup, the first question is, have you ever bought a magazine before?
Yeah, I constantly bought magazine.
What type of that?
I subscribe for National Geographic, and for your research, you're talking about fashion magazine. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer.
Cool.
So I bought lots of fashion magazine. Vogue is the one that I subscribed for almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you like it? The Vogue magazine?
I like it. There are a lot of content inside. It's not only just advertisement. There are lots of magazines there. Lots of
half magazine, half content.
There are a lot of ad page for Vogue. They have a lot of content of photography and some articles. Really well written articles.
There's a lot of different type of fashion magazine, like Ali, I don't know how to pronounce it, but ELI, that one, and also someone else, but do you feel why you choose Vogue instead?
There are specific reasons. I did not only read Vogue. I bought Vogue, I bought Elle, and Fashion Bazaar. Yeah. Right. And there's some other Japanese fashion magazines. Yeah, the reason I bought Vogue is because compared to others, it's richer in terms of content, and so it's thicker than actually the magazine is physically thicker than any, and they have the same price. So of course I choose Vogue. And
Okay.
That's the reason.
Yeah. How often do you read it?
One issue per month. While I was subscribed it.
Are you gonna buy it every month?
Yeah, every month. Basically, because I actually subscribed it, so it's just I subscribed for the whole year. So I got all the issues for a year. Yeah, I did this for 3 years.
Is there any particular reason that you want to pick it up to read? For example, you wanna, for some person just help them for sleep, or they wanna get some fashion treat, like fashion tips.
During that time, I want to be a professional fashion designer, and yeah, Vogue has during that time, the Vogue Chinese version, they have a lot of the content to this kind of introduction to fashion industry, to introduction like introduction for fashion designer, this kind of things. And there are some very cool editors, and some each fashion magazine has their very professional and popular editors, writers, and even some model has only work for certain magazines. This kind of things kind of attract me to read a certain magazine like Vogue. And other is that you talk about when I read it, okay, of course, if I have a leisure time, I want to spend some time.
Just for relaxing.
Yeah, for relaxing, I will read the magazine too, because it's quite entertaining, right? Yeah. But yeah, for myself, there's specific reason as I treat it not only a leisure reading material, it's also a very professional
That's actually my next question.
Yeah, informative language for me.
Like furthermore, like how do you treat this magazine as your daily life? What type of role it played?
They usually play. They used to play important role in my life. It's kind of a visual library, and cultural library for me. Because that is the path I thought I gonna pursue fashion. But right now, yeah, it's kind of I haven't really buy any I haven't really bought any of the fashion magazine since I came to Canada, because I kind of switched to my path.
You said you bought a lot of like Chinese version Vogue before.
Yeah. And
what do you think the difference between the North American version to a Chinese version?
Yeah, I actually read some articles, and in terms of the content, in terms of the literal content, like it's definitely more content about feminism and homosexuality, and sex in the North American version. Yeah, the Chinese versions on this kind of aspect is more conservative in a certain way. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other media you think it can replace the fashion magazine, like the paper one?
Definitely, like Vogue right now, they have their digital book, right? Yeah. And I don't really think it's replacement, but it's another choice of reading.
You personally which one you prefer?
You know what? I have other case. I'm right now subscribing the National Geographic on my iPad. It's each issue only cost me about $199. It's much cheaper than the paper one, and it's more interactivity in the digital version. The picture. It's not a steady picture. It could be a moving picture with audio attached. So for me it's much cooler, but it also has its own disadvantage, as reading on the screens